Well, welcome back to Espressos with Entrepreneurs. This week we're going to talk about what is the favorite part of our job. We've talked about self-motivation and, allotting your time, but this is, kind of a bonus feature to our jobs. So I'll go ahead and start us off because it's something that really sticks out to me. So I create a product that not everybody needs, not everybody even knows exists. Nobody knows that this market exists. So if you don't know, I roast what is technically called specialty coffee. So it's a higher grade coffee than most people are used to drinking. So the favorite part of my job is introducing people to this kind of coffee. People that have either drank Folgers or Maxwell House or Starbucks their whole life. No offense to those companies. They do a great job. They're great companies. But, I feel like the quality of my coffee is very far removed from those companies. So serving somebody a cup of coffee or like telling them how this bean got from this country to this port of entry to me, to the roaster, to their cup, and knowing where it's come, all those steps, and then serving them that cup of coffee and like seeing the reaction on their face is probably the favorite part of my job. Like, not that a person has to be converted to be my customer. Like, obviously that would be nice. I'm in a job to make money. But, having their eyes open to this market and, being open to be educated about this that's a lot of fun for me. Mm-hmm. And, I think if you talk to any roaster or any cafe owner of a specialty coffee company, they would probably say the same thing. So.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that probably the first time I had coffee without like a ton of creamer or sugar and actually like enjoyed it was Reverb. So it's good stuff. You should buy some.
Hey, at least he's doing the commercial for my company and not me.
Yep. The best part of waking up is Reverb in your cup.
I think we have to put something down in the...
Yeah, that's not original.
Footnote now. No copyright infringement intended.
Well,
thanks.
I don't know if they own the tune. They probably do, though.
Yeah. I don't know about the music industry. Hey, maybe a music entrepreneur can come on our show someday and tell us.
A musical treneur. Anyway.
That sounded like manure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, bad music, can be. So, anyway, I guess... Yeah, favorite part of what I do, it's probably, similar in that, presenting kind of the final product for you to the end consumer is what you enjoy. I like to see the final product myself because as much as I enjoy the entire video process, it can be nerve-wracking. At the shoot, making sure that all the cameras are on, the audio is recording, and everything's good because some of that stuff can be kind of tweaked in post, but none of it can be completely fixed in post. If I don't have a camera on, I can't go back and magically turn that camera on. Yeah. So, or if the audio is way too quiet, there's only so much I can do. So it can be nerve-wracking to be shooting it, editing almost universally, even like the projects that I'm most proud of at the end. When I first put everything in there, the raw pieces, because you have so many little pieces here and there, it can be like, oh crap, this looks awful, like I'm screwed. But typically things just kind of work out. You have all the pieces, you kind of put them in the right order, you throw some music on it, you do some cool things with shots and timing and stuff. And to see the final product is usually really rewarding. And it's, like, hey, I did that.
Yeah.
Kind of like, my art piece or whatever. So, I'd say that's pretty much the same thing. It's rewarding along the way. You have little victories when shooting, like, oh, that felt good, or editing, like, oh man, that piece looks good. But the very end, when it's all kind of said and done, and you can kind of forget like the hassle and the stuff you had to go through, that's like the most fun part.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that's my favorite part.
Yeah, it's cool. when I got into roasting, I didn't know how lonely of a job roasting is. So to transition from my favorite part, roasting isn't my least favorite part, but it's not as enjoyable as some would think it is. It gets really loud in my room. Usually it's just either Alan will show up randomly on some days or my grandfather will walk in. But other than that, it's pretty much just me. I don't know where this tangent's coming from, but I guess going from most favorite to not most favorite. But that, like you said, editing and seeing the raw pieces, roasting is part of that process. And
well, and the same thing, I'm definitely kind of off by myself during the editing process because it's not unless I'm trying to show something to someone, it's not conducive to someone being there talking to me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get very little work done.
Yeah.
But at times I kind of like that. I am a more introverted person, but it's still nice to engage with people and show, as long as, they're cooperative, that part's fun too. But that's like shooting it sometimes, depending on who you're working with, it can be a little bit tricky because, you want to be as helpful as possible and as nice about it as possible, but you also want to make sure that, if you don't tell them something and don't, not like you're coming across as harsh or anything, but you aren't helpful and like, hey, you might want to look at the camera a little bit more or whatever, which might feel a little awkward in the moment, at least for me. Then I feel worse afterwards. I'm like, I should have told that guy to look at the camera because now he's not looking at the camera. And it just feels weird for the person watching if I'm, not staring at you, if I'm just off here the whole time. And anyway, just little things like that. But there's always a least favorite and a most favorite part. But I still say that pretty much any time, my least favorite part of doing video is far and above better than my least favorite part of doing something that I'd have to do just to.
It's true.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's the fun part of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Well, I think we have a short topic for you today. Kind of cut it down a little bit, but we'll end with talking about a movie we've both seen recently. We are friends off camera. We don't just get together to act
Make
like we're friends.
Yeah.
We both watched Gravity on
my second time. I saw it in theaters.
Let's say he's probably seen it more than once before then, but it was my first time. I would have to say the camera work or cinematography of the movie was mind-blowing. It was just extremely well made. We won't get into the story because we're not spoilers. But it's super short. But it's almost like an amusement park ride. From the very get-go, you're locked in, and then it doesn't stop until the end credits come on. Like, there's no break anywhere in that movie. So.
No, it's intense. And it's like Avatar, in that like they basically had to invent technology to make the movie, so it took like 7 or 8 years. So huge thing, really awesome. It was extremely, it's very immersive. Seeing it in theaters was amazing. That was really cool. I heard the 3D was amazing. I missed out on that, but it was really good. I'm trying to think what else there was about that. I don't know. I really liked that movie. It's just one of like the 3 or 4 movies I can think of that was just like you said, it just, out the gate, just takes off. And for me, it's like one of the ones that when it's over, I realize how tense I've been the entire movie and I kind of relax. It's like Hurt Locker, like that movie. Ghost Protocol, I saw in IMAX and it was like that. There's certain movies that I don't even realize it while it's happening, but when it's over, I'm like sweating and I'm like, oh my God, like what have I been doing the last hour when I've just been sitting in a chair? But, and it makes me like, not that I ever wanted to be one anyway, but like I would never want to be an astronaut. Like I just have these like abnormal figures looking like sucked into space, but Sandy Bullock, she did a good job. It was a really good movie.
Very good. So I think that's it. I kind of thought of something. If you like the way we think about movies and music and other things, you should put something down in the bottom for us to watch if we haven't already watched it, and we'll tell you what we think about it. Not that we're Siskel and Ebert here. We don't have a 2 thumbs up or down grading system. We'll tell you. We'll be straight shooters, tell you how it is. So, leave it in the comments if we should watch a movie, listen to a CD, read a book, or something like that. Give us something to do. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, the comments are great. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Share this with other people. Use the Facebook and the Twitter. Nobody uses Google+, but if you do, use that. We'd love to kind of continue to spread this to more folks. And we'll see you next week. All right.
Don't take yourself too seriously.